Thanks for the opportunity, guys. Really appreciate it. It's great what you're doing, and I feel honoured to be speaking after some of the people that have spoken today. You're all changing the world, and I think that's what we're after, really, is making it a better world for everyone. So I guess Westpac, this is my little Westpac splurge. Help is what we do. I think if you look at the banks in general, they've definitely come a long way from 10, 15 years ago where fees was what they were about. They are looking at helping the community more and definitely their customers, and they should be, because we're their customers and we drive where they go in the future. So from a Westpac perspective, I'm very passionate, and you'll see why during my presentation. Obviously the Westpac Rescue Helicopter, it helped save my life. We raised over $1 million this year for it. Halberg Trust, I love getting involved with a lot of the Halberg Trust events like the Round the Bays. It's Peter Blake Trust, obviously. And the Christchurch Earthquake Recovery just showed what great people we have at Westpac. Also, just back on that last one, I mean, there's volunteer days within Westpac. Every employee of Westpac gets a volunteer day. So if your community groups have any ideas on how they can use those, get in there and grab a bunch of them. Raising money for the chopper, I mean, as I say, I'm very passionate about it, and this is something I've done a lot of work in myself, because I just think it's great to have them, and we should have them. On the 28th of February 2000, I started with Westpac. On the 10th of June 2000, had a bit of a speed bump and broke my neck playing rugby. I became a C5-6 incomplete tetraplegic, thus being in the wheelchair now. Westpac were brilliant and held my job for 9 months, which I guess I was lucky. It was a big organisation that were able to do that, and obviously some smaller organisations wouldn't be able to. 2001 March, I started back, and I was rapt to get back into it. It was my social side as well, because I couldn't do sport much any longer. And I'm still there today, 30th of October 2012. I've been through 7 jobs. And thoroughly enjoyed it. Some of those jobs, just to show you the varieties of jobs within a bank. Some people think teller, branch, but there's a lot of other things too. Call centre I started in, sales and lending specialist, insurance and investments. I was a customer service rep there too. Then I became a team leader. And I just really want to get across that there's plenty of career options within banks overall. Definitely we'd like the best of you at Westpac for sure. Became a platform support analyst in IT. Then became the manager of that team, and then now I'm in the online banking space. So you can see there's plenty of options to move around, and being in Auckland, you've got a ton of options. I've come up from Wellington. It's getting a bit smaller down there as far as Westpac's concerned, but definitely there's a ton of options there, and people of all abilities, there's room for them within the organisation. I mean, I just wanted to go over some of the roles, because people don't always know what roles are out there. So if you say, well, I don't think I could work for a bank, just look at the different things that are there. There's branch roles, obviously, business banking, call centre, online banking, IT roles. There's international banking as far as exchange and markets, legal. So for you, any lawyers amongst you, marketing, people, which is the new term for HR within our organisation, human resources, products and wealth. So there's a ton of different roles there that you can look at going for. And my big drive at the moment is to try and, with the Westpac Accessibility Group, is to try and get more people with disabilities within the organisation, or should I say people of all abilities. Accessible buildings, so it's great for people with different ranges of abilities to be able to work. There's pretty good standards within the buildings. Technology, we've got a deaf guy down in Christchurch. We've got a blind person up here in the Wib area in Auckland, and I guess that just says it all. Great people is why I'm at Westpac. When I had my accident, 15 people gave me half a day's leave each to help me be paid for a bit longer while I was on sick leave. So I owe them a lot. You can see Richie there, but it's the people in general that make it for me, and why I love working at Westpac. For our customers, we're absolutely trying to be more accessible. Talking ATMs, over the last 2 years, we've made every ATM that you make withdrawals from accessible to audio technology, so people can plug in who are blind and listen to the announcements. Diversity groups, these have been a recent addition to the Westpac people area, and basically anyone in Westpac who works there can join up. So we've got an accessibility team. Like I said, there's only 5 of us, so we're trying to grow that. Flexibility, so to give you a more flexible working arrangement. Multi-generational, cultural and gender equity. Our accessibility group has a vision, access for all abilities. So we want everyone to be able to work in any role within Westpac they want to. And clearly there's some roles that are more suited to that, but we want to make it more open so that you can do whatever you want to at Westpac. So accessibility should be universal, including everyone, excluding no one, no matter what level of ability you have. Improving awareness of the importance of accessibility for both staff and customers is a real big drive of our accessibility group. I think if staff have more understanding of the accessibility requirements of our customers, then obviously they're going to give a better service, and vice versa, the managers are going to hire more employees who have different levels of ability. See, we've got a real push at the moment with the accessibility stuff from the group, but also just wanted to touch upon some programs we have at Westpac. So there's the Retail Cadet program. It's just starting up in Auckland. We trialled it in Christchurch, and it was fantastic to get people in who weren't necessarily university educated, but that really wanted to get into a big organisation. And then we've got the Westpac graduate program, which is more, it's an excellent program, but obviously we take the cream of the people from varsity, so we want you to be at least a B average sort of student, but you get to try 7 or 8 roles during the first 2 years within the organisation. So it's a real opportunity if you want to study hard and go for that. So why Westpac? I mean, some of the initiatives during that 2 years, you get to meet all of the executive team, go to people leader conferences. It's just it's almost something that you do just for fun as opposed to as a working experience. And I guess if you want to check out a bit more about how to get a role with Westpac and how to apply or to work further towards that, www.westpac.co.nz, and then just chuck in careers in the search box and have a look and see what's in there. And if there's something that interests you, number one, there'll be an option to email there, but also coming up it'll have my email address, and I'm happy to catch up with anyone afterwards. This is just the page that you'd go to. So as you can see, it's got the graduate program there, it's got working for us and some of the reasons why you would want to work with Westpac. And then the jobs that are going at the moment, have a look, keep an eye on that. I'd advise anyone out there who's looking for work to continue to look at not just Westpac, but other organisations that have got big sites like this. There's jobs coming up all the time, particularly here in Auckland. So while Westpac is a great place to work, and I'm very passionate for obvious reasons, most importantly, I'd just say get out there and achieve what you want to. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And if you set your mind on it, the world's your oyster, really. So yeah, there's my email address, but if anyone wants it afterwards, I've got a couple of cards, or I can write it down or something from there. So thanks for the opportunity, guys, and yeah, keep it going. This is awesome. Let's keep growing it every year and get out there to people that can learn from it.